Hey guys, welcome back to a brand new episode. Okay, we're right here for y'all, and today's gonna be a little bit different.
Yes.
We actually have a question from one of our followers here, and we're gonna read it out loud to you. Okay, it is it possible to live a life of great joy in spite of our circumstances? Well, it's a very good question.
It is a very good question.
And we're gonna dive into that for you, okay? So if you have not already, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, okay? We drop videos like this every single week, okay? And so now back to this question right here.
Yeah.
And we're just gonna call you Jane Doe, okay? So, so Jane Doe with this question. Now, I feel like we want to backtrack a little bit. Go back to a couple of other questions you might want to answer before you answer this one. Yeah.
So I know that in the previous episodes, for example, we definitely went over the different chakras and the energy centers and what type of emotional and physical illnesses that it may store if you get it unbalanced, right?
Yeah.
That's the first thing that comes to mind when it comes to answering this question, honestly.
A very good one. We're going to drop the link, okay, guys, so you guys know what we're talking about. It was very thorough, very in-depth. Yeah. We went over all 7 chakras. So start off with that first. And if you're still very much interested, of course, keep watching this video.
So back to the chakras, guys, that we visited last week. I know a lot of them, they go hand in hand with one another.
Right.
You know, when you balance one, you're on your way to balancing the other, because they're like sisters and brothers, your chakras. Okay.
Exactly.
And the first thing that comes to mind is the heart chakra, right? Because that is where you have the ability to feel joy, gratitude, happiness, and things like that. Just the high endorphins feelings, that is all stored in your heart chakra.
Yeah.
So if it is not possible, yes, I know circumstances are different from one person to the next, but if it's not possible for you to feel joy and gratitude and happiness, it might be that your heart chakra is unbalanced or closed off, and if you also visit last week's episode, we tell you exactly how to balance that and open yourself back up to these feelings and emotions, right? Because we do feel lifeless without it, right?
Yeah.
Not being able to feel the love and the joy that comes with life, and you just feel pretty much emotionally dead.
Exactly. Like a lot of you guys may know this as being burnt out, whether it's from work, whether it's romantic relationship, whether it's platonic. It all happens to us. Now, with what you were saying about the 4th chakra, it being like that, basically that epicenter of just feeling that joy, all that good emotion, happiness, right? Before gratitude, before we even get to that, a lot of you guys may have to clean your house. Okay, so let's talk about it, right? So using that as an analogy, you have a home, right? A lot of you guys have seen episodes of Hoarders where it's stacked up to the ceiling with just junk. Okay, so that's your body. Say the house is an example of your body, right? So you're filled with all of this junk, all that stuff here. You can even walk around, right? So you're thinking, I want to bring beautiful things. I want to feel love, all of that into the home, right? Well, you can't yet, and if you do, it'll be buried with the other junk. You gotta clean out your house. You gotta clear out those old chakras, those letting go of those feeling of pain. That deals with your sacral chakra, the orange one. Yeah, releasing that fear of life, of moving forward. Okay, so we can be able to attract that new love and positivity to us. And a lot of you too, with what we were talking about last week with the chakras, that victim mentality, that is your solar plexus chakra, that yellow chakra. A lot of you guys are just like, woe is me. Why is this my life, right? So if we start dealing with these emotions and we start clearing out the house, that, step by step, week by week, you'll notice that there's a lot of empty space. And with that empty space, now you have that power to recreate and reimagine that house, aka your body, as you like. In other words, bringing that joy and happiness we were just talking about earlier.
And it just made me think of that saying, be the change you want to see.
Yes.
There's so many depths and layers to that saying, but pretty much just being reflective of exactly what you want. I mean, if you want to become the person that is full of joy and loving, then do things that makes you full of joy and feel loved or loving and etc. Right?
Yeah.
So I'm glad that you bring up that feeling of victimization, and great point on the sacral chakra, guys, because that's where maybe things like feelings of jealousy, maybe stored envy, maybe you're not able to be happy because you're comparing yourself to other people and seeing what they have and wishing it was yours, right? But that question alone has so many different layers, because now automatically I'm thinking, all right, what's the next layered question here out of this question? Is it possible to live a life of great joy in spite of our circumstances? Well, so another way I would rephrase it is happiness based on circumstances? You know, like, is the circumstance basically what's going to dictate how you feel? Because if that is the case, right?
Yeah.
Then we should never see happy people in the hood.
Okay, no.
We should never see happy people in third world countries who are struggling every day to feed their families.
Exactly.
How do they maintain a happiness despite or in spite of their circumstances? You know, like, it just makes you think, like, okay, so is happiness, you know, once you get your chakras all in tune and balanced, then it becomes a choice, right? Just like it's a choice to feel any of the other feelings that you are able to feel. Okay, while it may feel automatic, and at first it might be, you know, but once you regain yourself, your focus, your center, and you think about, you know, why you're feeling this way, it's easy to just break it down and boil it down into, okay, well, the reason why I'm feeling this way may be a selfish reason, you know, or it may be something.
Asking yourself those questions is going to really help you get to the root of it all.
Exactly. So, you know, happiness is not based on circumstances, guys.
It's not. And to go off of what you were saying, sorry to interrupt, but like, so with what you're saying, a lot of those people are seeking happiness as external. Because with what you're asking, like, how come third world countries and other countries, you're able to see people who are happy in them? Well, people, I feel like in westernized society in America, they're living the opposite. They're saying, I got a flat today. Now I'm in a pissy mood. You know, it's like,
terrible day.
Circumstances, now I'm angry. Yeah. So versus I'm happy, so anything outside of me is, even whether it's positive or negative, is automatically going to be filtered through that positive lens because I'm already feeling great about myself.
Exactly.
What can go wrong?
Exactly. And that's a good point, you know, because if we're able to just change our moods or based on things that happen throughout the day. I mean, can you imagine something that happening throughout the day that you did not want? Now when you put it in terms of like that, it makes you sound childish, right?
It really does.
Because children gets upset when something don't go their way.
They're for a temper tantrum.
Exactly. They'll be very angry at whoever may come their way, the world, the earth, whatever. People who had nothing to do with the circumstance. And I feel like, you know, maybe if this is happening to you often, you have an unrealistic view of life or an unrealistic view of control, you know,
unregulated emotions.
Right, because if we go off of the idea that, all right, you know, there are certain things in life that are not controlled, that are outside of your control, and you have to be despite of those circumstances, you know, and if you had no lessons that you needed to learn, I mean, and I guess nothing bad would happen to you on earth, but we're all here to learn some lessons, right?
Absolutely.
For growth. So how is that going to happen? Through the circumstances that you go through the situations. It's unavoidable, guys. All right, Jane Doe. It is unavoidable for things to happen. That's just part of life. And when it does happen, if the first thing that it does is dictate your mood or change your whole shift, you know, your mentality, emotionality throughout the whole day, then we might be narrowing down some issues, right, that you want to tackle when it comes to that next visit to the therapist or something like that.
Yes, no, absolutely. I mean, there's always some great tips to learn how to regulate the emotions better. So, circumstances outside of you is not throwing you off, because life happens, right? I mean, even with how long we've been in this journey, there are times where I'm just like, oh man, I still get annoyed. But we're talking about how often.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? How often are you doing this? Is it kind of like every other day? Like, is it like once in a blue moon? Like, you get bothered. Then that's fine. We're all human after all, right?
Yes.
We're not following the path of Buddha or Jesus. So we will have to deal with those emotions and then, process them and, transmute them too. So that it's better out there for everybody else.
Right. And she just referenced one of our other episodes where we did the laws of the universe.
Yes. Yeah.
And transmutation of energy is going to be one of the toughest lessons here on earth, because it is changing that bad circumstance into a good one, or just seeing the good side of what just happened. Because sometimes we may not always be able to see it right away. But trust me when I say these circumstances happen for you, whether it's for your growth or to avoid another bigger circumstance that you may have not been able to handle, just really take heed, because there are people also dying every day, guys.
Okay.
There are people sick every day.
Exactly.
So when it comes to things like, and I don't like to do the comparison stuff, because everyone's life is going to be different. It's going to be for a different purpose. But when you think of circumstances that you'd rather not be in,
okay.
So I feel a lot better.
Yeah.
Right?
You can take that off. Like, oof, thank God, You start being more appreciative to what you do have. Like
feelings of gratitude and things like that.
You have a roof over your head. You have water. Oh my goodness. You can go outside freely without having to worry about someone, whether they're gonna, you're gonna get taken. Hopefully not, But like, those are the little simple things that I think we should hone in and be grateful for.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And as far as circumstances, my last tidbit on that is that, because I had to switch my mindset on that too. One of the book I read way back when, I can't really remember, but it basically said when circumstances do arise in your life, be grateful for it. Like, I even started saying like, like, say an example, you come up to me with a problem. I'd be like, oh, thank God for this problem. People will look at you like you're crazy. I've been looking like I'm crazy, because it's kind of like, wait, what? You're thanking God for this problem? Yeah, because if you didn't bring it up to me, I would have no recollection or aware of it. Right now, we could fix this and then we could move on.
Absolutely.
So it's just like, thank you. Thank you for this problem. A flat, thank you, God.
Right.
I needed that flat today.
Okay.
And you gave it to me.
Because I needed to learn how to change a tire.
Okay. Yeah.
And now I have to do it.
Exactly. It's just about making yourself be present, that every single thing is working for you, always for you.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, this is what we have as far as this question, guys. And I do appreciate your questions, by the way. Keep them coming, whether you comment them or send them to our emails.
Yeah, or DMs.
Yes, or DMs. But, just it's going to take a lot of chakra work, meditation, the usual stuff that we always say in pretty much all of our videos, as far as like that self-work, because that's all it's going to take for you to really be able to feel happy or enjoy the little things, just taking the day as it comes with,
exactly.
bravery and a smile on your face.
Okay, listen, the energy, as one of our laws says, to basically receive it is to give, right? So go ahead and give someone a smile today, that smile may change their life, and then hopefully that makes you feel good about yourself. Exactly. And then when someone smiles at you, you'll be like, oh wow, I needed that smile today. So smiles to you, right? We thank you so much for tuning in. Like I said, we drop videos like this every single week. So go ahead and like and subscribe if you have not already. Hit the bell for a notification, and we'll see you guys next week. Bye.